Hello everybody, this is Orange, and welcome to my Abyss, and welcome to my September 2022 manga haul. We got a good selection of manga right here, as well as some graphic novels in the back that I'll get to at the end. And in total we got, I believe, 16 manga and 3 graphic novels, so let's jump into it. I'm starting out with volumes 9 and 10 of Hinamatsuri. I love me some Hinamatsuri, it's a good time. What can I say more than I have fun reading Hinamatsuri? It's funny, it can be touching at times, it's a good old time. I love to see it. I love my Yakuza dad and his psychic daughter. And also, if you watched the anime like I did, that's how I like about the series. This is pretty much the point where the anime stops adapting the manga, and the manga continues on from like this point right here. And also super interesting, which I knew actually was going to happen because I've like seen people talk about it, is there is a time skip and we start following Hina in high school, and I love to see that. Love to see my girl grow. Father and daughter, look at them. Also, maybe it speaks to something within my heart where I almost started crying when like Nita is all like, how do I be a single dad? And I'm like, yes man, you are a single dad. Look at you go, king. Nita, my beloved. And below that, we got Yotsuba and volumes 2 and 3. Finally interested in, or finally wanted to like start to, my brain, oops, finally on the train of collecting Yotsuba in it again. Yotsuba is a fantastic good time. What can I say? It's a popular manga series. It's a little slice of life comedy. I wrote a little Yotsuba down there. Her just growing up and learning things, and it's fantastic, and it's cute, and it's funny, and what else can you ask for in a good old slice of life manga? And you got, of course, the backs on these two, and the back on volume 2 is this, like, classic image right here. And I honestly think, like, this is one of the most iconic images in, like, the entire manga canon. Like, you cannot be part of a fandom and have not seen, like, an edit of this with, like, your favorite characters in there. Just iconic. I love Yotsuba, and glad I'm collecting it again. It's just a good chill time. It's fun to pick up a few volumes every few months. Just feel like, life is good. And below that, we have QQ Sweeper, volumes 2 and 3. I wasn't able to get number 1, it is out of stock, but I have read it online, and I really want to collect more of this. Did you know that 2 people on MangaTube have been more responsible for marketing the series to me than the entirety of both the Viz and Shoujo Beat Twitters, which I follow both of? But yeah, I finally decided to pick it up because I saw some reviews of it. I'm like, oh, it looks good. And it is good. It's so good, guys. And I can't wait to get it, so I just need the first volume to complete the QQ Sweeper. And then this is actually a prequel series to Queen's Quality, which I'm planning on starting picking up too, because that one is also fantastic. Just a good time. I can't believe I slept on this series for so long. It's so good. So good. And below that, we have Fairy Cube, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Kind of picked this up on a whim because I saw some of the art online and I thought the art was really pretty, and it was only 3 volumes long, so I decided, why not? I'll pick it up. And yeah, it's a, if you don't know, it's a Kaoru Yuki story. I have one of her other mangas out in my collection already. I can't say that word, Gurguru Orchestra, I can't pronounce words, but she does like gothy shoujo, which I think is always peak shoujo. Gothy shoujo is peak fiction, come at me. But this was just a fun, interesting, short time. You know, good times all around, but also, alas, I have finally encountered the dreaded Shoujo Beat curse, which is the terrible, bad, poopy spine. Why is it just red text? Where's the actual logo? Why does it look like that? I've been able to avoid it for so long with the Shoujo Beat manga I do have in my collection, and all my other shoujo titles are like other publishing companies like Kodansha or like Yam Press. And then I finally encountered the poopy red spine. It happened, guys. It happened. Why are their spines so bad? Why is it just the poopy red text? Put the logo on there. You made a logo. Put it on the spine. And below that, let's go. We have Pandora Hearts, volumes 10, 11, and 13, which I am picking up volumes of this where I can get them. They seem to be slowly coming back in stock, or at least like no longer being like $60 a volume, which I am a fan of. So slowly picking this up, and I love Pandora Hearts. It's so good and juicy, and it was one of my first anime when I was getting into anime, and it's a manga's even better, I think, because it continues after the bad ending, the bad ending of Pandora Hearts. But I love I love the manga so much. I'm so glad I'm finally able to like get my hands on a lot of physicals for this series. Just good times, beautiful art, love my kids, love my characters. Cannot wait to pick up more of this and hopefully get it finished before it goes out of print again. Haha! And then below that we have my beloved Gangsta Volume 4. Speaking of things that seem to be like slowly coming back in stock, I noticed that a lot of the Gangsta volumes, there's only 8 Gangsta volumes out because the author, the mangaka, she went on hiatus because I believe a illness. Totally fine. It's perfectly fine. So she went on a hiatus because of an illness, and it's only currently 8 volumes. And for the longest time, like for a few months, like when I was trying to collect it, like a lot of it was like out of print and of course over cover price. Now it looks like a majority of the manga like is at least like you can buy it again for cover price, at least used. It seems to be coming back in stock in a few places. The only volume currently, if that dates this video at all, that it seems to be like a lot above cover price is volume 7. So I hope that one comes back into stock soon as well, because I love Gangsta. It's just like the art is so good and I love the characters. It's just like a good time. It's just a good time. I love it so much. I'm so glad I'm getting my hands on you, Gangsta. And hopefully if the mangaka ever like feels better, she'll get back to it, but it's not a race. Your health comes first. Your health always comes first. And below that, I have Children of the Whales, volumes 1 and 2. Children of the Whales was a series that I actually had in my collection like years and years ago, before I even started like doing this. I think like way back when I was still like middle or high school, and I had the first volume, and for some reason it never grabbed me. But suddenly, I was just thinking about it. Just thinking about the series. Like, I watched the anime when that came out a while ago, I think. Yeah, and it just, like, the setting, and suddenly it just, like, grabbed me, and I'm like, I want to get back into Children of the Whales and read more of it. But it's a series with, like, beautiful artwork. It's actually a shoujo series, too, despite it being printed under the SIG line. Viz likes doing that a lot, where they don't put shoujo under the shoujo line. Did you know? Hey, did you know? But like the artwork is beautiful, and I cannot wait to start catching up with the series more because I love the setting, I love the art, the characters are fun. It's just like, but for me, it's for this one, weirdly enough, it's that juicy setting and those juicy like costumes and character designs. Oh, it makes me scream. You put someone who slightly resembles a jester into your thing, and I will go nuts for it. Did you know? Did you know my brain is like that? And then, below that we got the last manga, but don't go, we have comics after that. I want to talk about my comics. We have Inuyasha, Volume 9. What can I say about Inuyasha, which hasn't been said? It's a good, fun series. I love Inuyasha. Takahashi, she's a queen. She knows how to write a good series. I love Inuyasha. I think it still holds up. There's occasional like things like, ooh, Oshi 90s, but it's like fun. It's a good time. I love the setting. The characters are good. Thick volumes. It's such a nostalgic series for me. I love the printing. It's Inuyasha, guys. You should like read or watch it. So what if it could be like dated in a few aspects? It's a good time. Who cares? Is the part of me who only watches like 70s anime coming out now? 70s, 80s anime, and 90s anime. I watch so much old stuff. For me, it's like, who cares if it's dated? Read the oldies. But it's a good one. It's a classic. I love Inuyasha. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? You should. You should. And then, moving on to comics. My beloved. We have, Garlic and the Witch, which is actually a sequel to, Garlic and the Vampire, which I have out there too. And it is so cute. I actually didn't know a sequel was coming out. I was just like on Twitter, and like the author was all like, I'm publishing the sequel, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I picked it up, and it's a good time, and it's just like, the artwork's beautiful. I love the characters. It's super charming. I love the setting. It's just like, the messages too. I love the messages behind like both of the books, Garlic and the Witch too, and also, it's gay, and that's always a plus in my book. It's a good time. Just look at that. Look at my little Garlic. She's so cute. And below that, we have Calamity Jack, which is actually another kind of sequel. In my collection, I have a manga... what's wrong with me? I have a comic book called Rapunzel's Revenge, and Rapunzel's Revenge was a comic that I was like super into when I was like a young child, elementary school age. I would just keep on reading that dang book, and it's like Rapunzel, but it's like a western, and you have like other fairy tales like coming in there. And I knew for a while that the book did have a sequel, but I never really picked it up now because I remember like not liking it too much when I read it in middle school. But I finally decided, you know what, it's only 2. I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up just for the fact that Rapunzel looks like super cute on the cover. But like on the inside, it's pretty fun too. I think I like Rapunzel's Revenge more, but Calamity Jack is still a fun, good time with the fun, good characters that I grew up with. And that guy, he's pretty fun too. And that lady, she's pretty fun too. These two are from the last one. But yeah, it's a good time if you like your westerns and you like your steampunk and you're like your Rapunzel and Calamity Jack and other guys. And below that, I have a lot of explaining to do. It's Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Uh-oh. Did you know that I grew up being one of those Invader Zim kids? Ooh, it was so edgy and cool. I grew up in the early 2000s. Can you tell? But Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is a series by Jonan Vasquez, who is, of course, the creator of Invader Zim. If you don't know, the most edgy cartoon, which I adored as a child and I still adore now. And this was one of the series he worked on before that. He worked on a lot of comic series before he worked on Invader Zim. And this is, of course, with the title Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. It is edgy and bloody and violent, but like, it's also satirical of pretty much everything. It's making fun of society. It's making fun of people who make fun of society. It's making fun of itself. It's just like, there's so many like juicy layers and juicy artworks, and I love Jonan Vasquez's comics so much. And it's a good time. I would say a major downside to this, and I also have Squee, which was another one of the comics he worked on before, or after Invader Zim, I don't remember, is that the text is so hard for me to read. It's like scratchy, it's super scratchy, and there's sometimes so much of it on the page, and one of the reasons why I read so many comics, first of all, because I love the art form, but also because if I see a piece of text that goes on for too long, my brain shuts it out. I hardly survived academia. But it's still worth it because I think the artwork is like super stylized in that classic Jonan way. It's just like, it's just good. It's good. It's edgy. It brings back all the edgy teenness I have repressed within my heart, but also can make me bully that edgy teenness a little bit. Like, hey girl, we do live in a society, don't we? Well, yep, that's all of the manga and comics that I had for September. Next month is October, and I already have my pre-orders listed out, and there's a lot of horror stuff coming out, and I'm super excited for that because I love horror so much. I'm so excited. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. What manga have you been reading this month? Do you want to read the manga I read? Let's talk about the manga I read together. Watch Inuyasha. Alright, thank you so much for watching. You have a lovely night.